Friends, hello everyone. This is the program Morning of Russia Irkutsk, and I, its host, Veronika Mikhailova. We hope you woke up in a good mood. If not, we will try to fix that in the next 20 minutes. Stay tuned, and I see channel Russia 1. We eagerly awaited the appearance of this guest in the studio. Finally, we caught him in Irkutsk and didn't miss the chance to meet him in person. Art photographer Yevgeny Domanov's collection includes more than 80 prestigious international awards and prizes. His works are featured in private collections worldwide. Recently, his photos reached the finals of the largest photography award in the world. We'll talk about your creative work, the results of participating in the Oscars, and future plans right now. Good morning, Yevgeny.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me.
We are very pleased to meet you, I repeat, and of course we are eager to know what participating in the Oscar, the Lucy Awards, has been like for you. Yes, tell us a bit about this global event.
It was very unexpected. The Lucy Awards are similar to the Oscars, but in the world of photography, in the world of art photography. The best art photographers in the world are nominated there, those who have won prizes at the International Photo Awards competition, and that takes place in New York. And one morning, I opened my email and saw an invitation to the red carpet at Carnegie Hall, New York, for the award ceremony. It was, of course, very pleasant.
Sounds fantastic.
Very nice, very exciting, right? But such awards do exist. I was given first place for an architectural series that I shot in Georgia, in the city of Tskaltubo. It's a very interesting photo project, and in the course of our conversation, we'll probably touch on it further.
Well, here's the question. When will you stop collecting awards and prizes?
Probably never. It's a way of life.
That's the thrill.
Of course, there is excitement. Jumping ahead, I'll say that the coveted Lucy Awards statuette went to another author. And for me, it's an incentive to move forward.
And conquer new horizons.
Great, I really like your attitude, very fighting, in a good way, yes. Recently, you also spoke about how one key event fundamentally changed your life, your creative path.
Yes, I analyzed my creative journey and realized that only one key event was decisive.
Which one?
Well, it's no secret. I once dared to call a well-known European art critic and asked for a paid consultation and asked him to review my works. Of course, I expected a wow effect, that I would be praised, that they would marvel at my works. But the opposite effect happened.
And how many years ago was that?
It was at the end of the year 2019.
He looked at my works. At first, he was reluctant. I eventually convinced him that it made sense to talk to me. He looked at my works and said that you can throw them in the trash. Then he said, no, you can keep a couple of photos and use them to advertise your photo tours. It was very painful, very unpleasant to hear, but I am very grateful to him for this critique, because that was when my growth in art photography began. I realized I was heading in the wrong direction. It was a path to nowhere. I reevaluated my directions, and after that started focusing specifically on creating art, not postcards, as it was before.
And when did you first take a camera in your hands?
Oh, I was born in the Soviet Union, and every family had a camera back then. Like probably everyone. I had a Smena 8M camera. And in the first grade, I joined the photo club. But I consciously started taking pictures only. I remember my work from the 8th grade. What kind of work was it? Oh, it was already commercial work. I was filming events and already earning money from it, but I also loved the creative direction. I filmed my dog, dressed her in a tracksuit, in caps. It was purely a creative, cool photo shoot. And I also did landscape photography. I shot the Angara, the forest, nature, and tried to maintain a balance. But in the end, it didn't work out. I slipped into commercialism. And after the commercial walk ended, I put the camera on the shelf and didn't pick it up for exactly 15 years.
Oh, quite a long break.
Yes, I just burned out on commercial shooting because there was no balance. I just hated photography and only returned in 2000.
And what do you think became an important step in advancing your career as a photographer?
Well, in recent years, an important stage in a photographer's advancement is, of course, winning international competitions. There is an interesting effect. It's present not only in our country, but everywhere. When you when you are recognized by the global community, local media and local, professionals start to pay attention to you.
Colleagues.
Yes, colleagues, if you are recognized there, it means you're cool. Until you're recognized there, no one will want to communicate with you.
And when your colleagues from abroad, so to speak, find out that you are from far off Siberia, how do they react to that? Do they even know that we have such an art as photography? It is living, thriving, developing.
Well, you know, I don't discuss these topics with colleagues from abroad. They mainly look at the result of your actions. What do you create? How interesting is it? How creative? Yes. How relevant is it in our time?
Okay, do you think that what is shot on a phone can claim to be art?
Very interesting question. Let's first understand what art is. Recently, I conducted a survey. I'm studying this topic. Conducted a survey among my followers. What do you think art is? Give synonyms, or in one word, 1 or 2 lines. I was very surprised. The answers are still coming in.
Well, like what, for example?
More than 200 different options. In other words, there is no single opinion. Everyone sees it differently. But most believe that art is about beauty. It should be beautiful, aesthetic, and so on. And yes, in reality, it's a bit different. I like the definition given by one of the art historians. Art is a dialogue between people in the language of artistic images when words are powerless. That's a dialogue. It's a conversation. A conversation can be unpleasant. Therefore, there are examples of contemporary art that can sometimes be unpleasant, sometimes repulsive, sometimes it can even look disgusting, but it is art because it prompts us to think about something.
Herein lies the key.
That is to say,
And answering your question, can a photograph taken on a mobile phone, be art? Of course, yes. Yes. And today there are many examples where authors who shoot with a mobile phone are presented at world photo fairs, photo exhibitions. You know, they process it all in graphic editors, and these works are sold for prices starting from $10,000 each.
Oh, wow. Just on a mobile phone.
Interesting. And you just mentioned editing. How much does editing change the photograph in your work?
I pay a lot of attention to editing, especially working with color. Many contemporary photographers believe that the main thing in photography is the subject. In reality, that's not the case. In modern photography, the subject is secondary. And besides the fact that we interpret certain moments in the image, there's also color, which affects our emotions. And by working with color, I try to convey a certain mood that captures my viewers. And recently, I received an interesting review from the United States. They wrote to me saying that there is a lot of yellow and orange in your photos. This is the color of life, the color of hope, positivity. That's why we follow your photos. That's why we collaborate with you.
Tell me, do you shoot in any challenging conditions or unusual places maybe you've had to?
It was not just once. I constantly shoot in difficult and unusual places.
Well, for instance?
There are many examples. Well, let's take Japan, for instance. In Japan, on Hokkaido, in the north of Hokkaido, there is a lot of snow. And sometimes you have to stand waist deep in snow to create certain scenes, shots. I have a series with wild animals that I filmed in various reserves and national parks. Sometimes the conditions are very difficult. During one of the shoots, a black panther tore my down jacket. What I got swiped on the back by a paw when I opened my backpack and was setting up my equipment. There was a barrier behind me, but the panther's paw fit perfectly between the bars. And then I got swiped on the back by a paw. A chunk was torn out of my new Italian down jacket.
But the photo turned out, that's the main thing.
The photograph turned out.
That's great.
Said that she would work off this photograph for me. It was a male panther. I said, you'll repay me for this jacket. Oh my God, it took a long time for him to stop trying to pose after that.
As they say, for a long memory.
For a long memory. What else? Filming in Cuba. I actually went during the COVID year when there were a huge number of restrictions. I was interested in colonial architecture, specifically the interiors, and due to COVID, many places were closed off. I tried to get in somehow by any means. And one time I sneaked into a luxurious mansion with many different apartments, modern ones, let's say, right? The mansion was truly stunning and I needed to take some photos. Well, they spotted me there and tried to sick dogs on me. I barely got away to avoid being torn apart like that Black Panther.
Do ideas for photography come to you spontaneously, or do you at least roughly plan in advance what it will be and where?
Ideas come spontaneously. For example, yesterday, while watching a broadcast from a very cool photo fair, Paris Photo in Paris, I was looking at examples of other authors' works, and I came up with a great idea. And that night I immediately ran to jot it down that I wanted to shoot in Irkutsk in Siberia in minus 30 degrees frost. This particular series with such and such a storyline. I won't talk about it yet. When I shoot it, I'll show it.
But the most important thing is to record it so you don't forget.
Yes, this is important.
Evgeny, do you always look at the world as a photographer or only when the camera is on?
Probably it's a professional deformation in my case. I always look at the world specifically as an art photographer. I can't even have lunch peacefully in a cafe or restaurant if I have a phone or camera nearby. I'm always looking for something interesting to shoot. It, of course, irritates my loved ones a little that I can't even have a peaceful meal. But I'm always interested in capturing some interesting shot.
Do you actually like being photographed?
No.
So also there is...
And you listen, I do not like him. And so yes, there is a very serious imbalance. I do not like being photographed. I do not always like how I look in the frame.
So...
But sometimes I look and think, well, here, it's not bad, it'll do.
Okay, and what do you think is the secret to a successful shot?
I think the secret to a successful shot lies in its meaning.
I always tell my students that when you pick up a camera and want to press the button, ask yourself, why are you doing this? What do you want to convey to this world? What do you want to say? Is it just a throwaway shot for likes? Or is there some meaning that you are putting into this work? There is a Jewish concept. In Hebrew, it sounds like this. Tikkun olam. It's literally translated from Hebrew as repair the world, meaning to make it better. When I pick up a camera and want to make a shot, in general, when filming my projects, my main task is Tikkun olam. I want to improve this world through my projects, through understanding some issues that they reveal, through witnessing beauty or other moments I show. But there is always one thing in my mind. I must create Tikkun olam.
How interesting and philosophical that sounds. Well, but it seems to me that when it was film photography, much more meaning was put into the frame because it was, well, let's say, it wasn't a mass-produced story.
Yes, it was.
We valued the number of frames.
You know what another shikun and another secret was? When we shoot with a mobile phone today or with an ordinary modern camera, we immediately see the result. In the days of film photography, it was a mystery, and we didn't know what would come out. Now we press the button and only get the result in the dark room after some time. And the birth of a photograph happens under the red light.
And it was very interesting to observe. It was precisely a mystery.
Now we are deprived of this mystery, we get the result immediately. But for me, this mystery is precisely the post-processing process. I open the raw file at the Chowa Costa Sion, and I see how I can develop it, how I can present it to the world, how it will look more interesting, and so on.
Does it ever happen that you go somewhere and don't bring back a single shot from the trip?
Yes, I experienced that this year.
What happened?
Nothing happened. Now, I just visited 6 countries, and in each country I did a photo project. I got so tired, I burned out. Now, and to maintain this balance, I flew to the Maldives, and I only shot there with a mobile phone. So the camera was with me, but I hardly ever took it out of the room.
And then, do you ever review the shots you took on your phone?
Very often, not only on the phone. I have stored most of the files that I shot about 6 or 7 years ago. And sometimes by pulling out some archival photos, I give them a second life. I realized that there is some interesting meaning there, which I enhance a little and share this frame with the world.
Another question came to mind. Do you think people who don't like taking photos don't shoot anything on their phones? That is, let's say, don't have a digital addiction. Are they missing out on much?
I don't know, maybe to each their own. Some want to enjoy and take in with their eyes. For others, it's important to capture, share, pass on. But it seems to me that nowadays, probably everyone is shooting with a mobile phone camera.
And finally, here's a question. Is it often the case that at the beginning of their journey, a photographer searches for themselves, tries different genres of photography, and shoots everything indiscriminately, and this work becomes more of a mass story, commercial, so to speak?
You give to beginner photographers to avoid burnout. They should not abandon their dream profession and stay on the desired path.
But we have already touched on it a little. This is the balance, precisely the balance between creativity and commerce. If you are a commercial photographer, if you do a lot of commercial shoots in a flow, then dedicate time to creative projects. Create, invent, create as you feel, right? Express your meanings. Let these works not be used for commercial purposes, right? But they will bring you joy as creative work, exactly. If someone disrupts the balance, you can end up with a result like I did when I put down the camera for 15 years. In other words, you can burn out a lot. That's why it's important to maintain a creative balance.
And in addition, definitely get involved in various exhibitions and competitions.
Well, this is quite a serious story because to participate in international competitions, you need to understand what art photography is, what art is. You need to undergo certain training. And unfortunately, in our country, there are practically no schools that specifically teach the art of photography. A huge number of schools, but mainly classical photography is taught. When you start studying art photography, you realize that many aspects are not just different, they are opposite to the rules taught in our schools. In this regard, I had to seriously redo myself.
In general, it is important for a photographer to decide what kind of photographer they are, wedding, only portraits, nature, or can they basically be...
You know, it's important to feel
Both here and there.
It is important to feel and hear your inner voice, to understand what you like and where you are better.
When I started my creative journey, I was filming Arnetiv Irkutsk. I shot a lot of Baikal, and my work first gained popularity on social media, specifically with Evening Irkutsk. No one filmed the city like I did. And I realized that architectural photography is the direction in which I am better, let's say, than in portraits. Therefore, over time, I gave up portrait photography and developed only in this direction.
Well, thank you so much, Evgeny. I think the introduction was successful and our viewers also enjoyed our conversation, the interview. We'll see you, I think, next year to hear about new awards and achievements. We wish you further creative development, success, and good luck.
Thank you very much. May I take this opportunity to say hello to my dad? He is ill.
Absolutely.
After serious surgery. So where's the camera? Where should I look? Dad, get well. We're with you. Be healthy.
Evgeny, thank you for your creativity. We really like how you see this world.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, that's all for today. Our program has come to an end. We hope you got your dose of inspiration. We wish you a great day, a wonderful mood, and we'll see you very soon.